Ladies and gentlemen, fellow delegates, fellow Texans, in November 2008, voters representing about 20% of the state's electorate sent me to sit on Texas's first Court of Appeals, where I'm the only Democrat on that court of 9 justices. And now, this November, I think it right that I share the love with the Texas Supreme Court. 86% of the appellate judiciary of Texas is Republican. Is it any surprise, then, that 86% of the opinions that issue from the Supreme Court favor big insurance, big banks, big utilities, and big corporate behemoths? Please remember this. Make certain that your neighbors, friends, family, people with whom you work, people with whom you go to school, people with whom you pray, that each and every one of them clearly understands that this election, now only 4 months away, is not about Washington, D.C. Do you know what the office of the Attorney General, the Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, Land Commissioner, Agricultural Commissioner, Railroad Commission, the Supreme Court, Court of Criminal Appeals, and the legislature all have in common? They are in Austin, Texas, not Washington, D.C. This election is about Texas. It's about who sits in the office of governor, lieutenant governor, who sits in those chairs on the floor of the Texas legislature, who sits in those, the attorney general's office and in those agencies and on those courts. So please go forth from here and educate your neighbors, your fellow Texas voters, about what is really at stake here. This election is about Texas. Despite what the talk radio folks or the talking heads on TV might say, there's one race on your long ballots that has anything at all to do with Washington, D.C. Now, James Madison, 4th President of the United States and the principal author of the Constitution of our country, had this to say: the accumulation of all powers, legislative, executive, and judicial, in the same hands may justly be pronounced the very definition of tyranny. But isn't that the template that we have here in Texas? 100% of the statewide offices in Texas of the executive branch are Republican. Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, Land Commissioner, Agricultural Commission, 3 railroad commissions, all 9 justices of the Texas Supreme Court, all 9 justices of the Court of Criminal Appeals, the majority of the legislative branch of our state government, the House and the Senate. Now, that imbalance is unhealthy for a pluralistic democracy, especially for our courts, which must be independent and balanced. Justice has long been portrayed by the icon of the blindfolded lady with the scales. Folks, those scales are supposed to be balanced, not tipped like this. Now, those of you who do not live in major metropolitan areas of Texas, I want to speak to you particularly. This election is on your shoulders. But with a single exception, Tarrant County, from where my opponent hails, sadly, we are succeeding in turning the major metropolitan areas of our state blue. We have Dallas, we have Houston, we have El Paso, San Antonio, Travis County. We've made good progress in rural Texas, but this is where we need to stop the bleeding, stop the red. Are you from East Texas? Are you from the Panhandle? Are you from anywhere north of Dallas-Fort Worth? Are you from West Texas? Are you from South Texas? This election is our opportunity to bring all of these important areas of the state back home. Urge your neighbors in your towns and counties from which you come to come home. Come home to the Texas Democrats. Thank you and God bless.